Okie dokie. We are going to identify seconds, thirds, sixths, and sevenths as major or otherwise. And we're going to figure out what the other options are. So there are going to be three other options. So compared to a major interval with the same letter names, an augmented interval is going to be a half step larger. A minor interval is going to be a half step smaller, and diminished is 2 half steps smaller. So major da da for major third. Pretty simple. An augmented third is going to be da da augmented third. Sounds like a perfect fourth. We'll worry about that later. And a minor third is a half step smaller. And then a diminished third is even another half step smaller. So da 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 da. Just so you can hear what they sound like. I can't sing them both at the same time because I only have one set of vocal folds. Okay, so we're going to identify the interval on the right side of each problem. So on the right side, we're going to write a major seventh, thinking key signatures again. So here's A. That's A. We're going to figure out which one is going to be as where the seventh is. So first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, that's a sixth. Come on. I did it again. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Hint, it's going to be the same as up there. So we need to figure out if it's a major seventh, how to make a major seventh. So A to G. What notes are altered in the key of A? So we got F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. G's got to be sharp. All right, so that's our major seventh. Now in this one, the G is flat. So we need to figure out if that is a half step larger, half step smaller, or 2 half steps smaller. So G sharp to a G flat. If you take away the sharp, make it natural, that is 1 half step smaller. You add a flat, that is 2 half steps smaller. So therefore, this is a diminished seventh. Oh, and it filled out that whole thing for you. There's your sample problem. So yep, there's ours. G sharp. And then you figured out diminished seventh. Cool. Get the TH there. All right, let's do this one. Major sixth. 1, 2, 3. Oh, same thing here. Just put that here. Now we're in the key of F. F has 1 flat, that's E. The B flat is D flat. Nope. So we know this is not going to be major. Let's see if we can figure it out. Here's our natural. Add a flat. It lowers it a half step. Therefore, it's just a minor sixth. I'm going to go ahead and do a bass clef one. Then you can do the rest. Here's bass clef. I'm going to do this one here. Major sixth. There's this. Key of A. At this point, you should know for sure that A has 3 sharps. So F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. This one's F sharp. If this is sharp and this is flat, that is definitely lowering it 2 half steps because you get rid of the sharp for a natural, then you add the flat. That's 2 half steps there. So this is going to be a diminished sixth. And you can do the rest. Go and pause the video, finish those out. And then when you're done, we go on to this one. We are now going to write these second, third, sixths, and sevenths. So, to write augmented, minor, or diminished interval above a second, third, sixth, or seventh, you first find the major interval above the note. And then you're just going to adjust the top note without changing the letter name, just by using flat sharp or double flat or double sharp or double flat, whatever you need, to make the interval larger or smaller. So, for example, we have a G here. We need to make it a minor third. So you write the interval above the note. There's our major third because G only has F sharp in the key signature, and that's B. B is just going to be natural. So to make it minor, you make it a half step smaller. You lower it a half step. So we need to put a flat on the B. That makes it a minor third. Now, you got to make sure you write the interval, the major interval first. You cannot alter the note itself. This has to still stay a B for it to be a third because it has to be 1, 2, 3 apart. Even though, because we have enharmonic equivalence, even though A sharp is the same as B flat, you cannot write it like this. That is actually an augmented second because 1, 2. You have to write it like this. Because this changes the letter name, you cannot change the letter name. Okay, let's review the vocabulary. An interval with a half step larger than major is augmented. Think augmented reality, I think. Isn't that a thing? Just makes it bigger, I don't know. Interval a half step smaller is minor. So we have major and then we have minor. Pretty simple. Fun fact, minor intervals follow the minor scale. So if you know the minor scale, you can find minor intervals that way. Multiple ways to find intervals. Now an interval that is 2 half steps smaller is diminished. Come on. Diminished. Diminished. So, an interval with 2 half steps smaller than major is diminished. So, augmented, minor, diminished. Big to small. All right. We're going to do some identifying intervals review. I'm going to do some of them, then you're going to do the rest. I'm going to do a few treble and bass, and then do the same thing here. Okay. First, we're going to identify the intervals. Here's A flat, key of A flat. Think about what key signature you have. A flat has B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. Is C among that? No. C natural anyway, so yep, that is A. If this will work. You're going to do this to me? Why is it doing that to me? It's going to be a major third. This just being a pill. Well, it's a major third. This one, yeah, major third. Okay, the next one. No, I don't want this. Come on. There it goes. Major third. Yay, okay. Thank you for your patience. All right, next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know it's going to be a sixth. Just need to figure out what type of sixth it's going to be. So key of F, because bottom note is F. F just has a flat. That is not a flat. Normally that would be natural, but it's sharp, so it's raised. It's a half step larger, so this is augmented sixth. How about this one here? Actually, no. You guys are going to do the rest of those ones on your own. Let's go to the bass clef. We have A and C double sharp. Bet you miss C in those. So in the key of A, we have F, C, and G sharp. C is normally just a sharp. Double sharp makes it even bigger. Augmented. 1, 2, 3, third. I'm going to go ahead and do this one right here with the double flat, and then the rest you do on your own. So we have our C in the bass here in the bottom. In the key of C major, you have no sharps and no flats. C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be a sixth. Now the A is double flat, so normally it's natural. We lowered it twice. Therefore, it is a diminished sixth, and you can do the rest your own. Finally, we're going to write the top note of these intervals. Minor seventh. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to be on the B. In the key of C, you have no sharps, no flats. But to make it minor, we gotta make it a half step smaller. So lower the top note by a half step. Boom, minor seventh. I'm going to go ahead and do the bass clef now. I'm going to do this one. Augmented seventh. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's our seventh. We need to make it an augmented seventh. So in the key of F, normally we just have our B flat. E is normally natural, so this would be a major seventh as it is. You need to make it a half step larger, so raise the top note a half step. E sharp, augmented seventh. And those are our seconds, thirds, sixths, and sevenths, figuring those out.